Hello, my most amazing artists. Today I am going to be teaching you about pottery glaze. This is a piece that is glazeware, and this is a piece that is bisqueware with no glaze. When we are using our glaze, the colors that we see don't always look like the color that it turns into after it goes in the kiln. So these colors here are these colors on the frog. I have white on the eyes, the clover is the green, and the candy apple is the red on the tongue. I don't want to mix up my glazes, so I'm going to grab a brush for each color. It's also important that we don't put any glaze right on the bottom of the piece. That's wherever that piece touches the table, because if it was in the kiln and we fired the glaze, if there's glaze on the bottom, it will stick to the kiln. I'm going to just get a little glaze on my brush. You don't want to glob it on, you want to spread this glaze out evenly because we need to get 3 coats of the glaze on. We need to wait for each coat to dry first, and you can see it dry. The glaze dries pretty fast and it turns a much lighter color when it dries. As soon as it's dry, then you can go and add the next coat. And you're going to spread it out nice and evenly. Don't leave any like big globs of glaze anywhere. Just keep spreading it out. Be mindful of the bottom and take your time. You want it to be a nice, like really spread out even coat. So that's 2. Now I'm going to wait for it to dry. Once that layer is dry, I can go in and add the final 3rd coat, and make sure you do that anywhere that you are applying the glaze. When it's time to change colors, make sure you switch your brush, and notice when that glaze is all dry, I can touch it, so I can handle my frog. So think about what parts you want to glaze first, what parts you'll need to hold to kind of help you out as you're doing your glazing process. So do the whole outside first, and then I go in and do the details like the tongue, the eyes, taking my time. If we get glaze anywhere that we don't want it, we can do a few things. We can take a sponge with water and wipe the glaze off. You can take a brush with a little water and clean it off, or we can just glaze over it with a different color. So if I got like green on the tongue, it's okay. I can go over that with the red. But with your details, you want to take a little more time to make sure that you're not spilling glaze on any spots that you don't want that color. So take your time. Make it a really beautiful, awesome pottery piece. And notice this piece that I'm holding in my hands right now is the same exact glaze that's on the frog above my hand. When it goes in the kiln, that glaze melts and turns into glass. So there are like little particles like sand in the glaze. And when they're heated up really hot, they melt and they turn into that bright, shiny, darker color that you see. So this red, that is the red of the tongue of the one right above my hand. The green, that's the same green. So what your piece looks like when you're putting the glaze on, it's going to be much richer and darker. So just notice that. Like, you might think it looks pastel now. It will not be pastel when it's done, when it's gone in the kiln. I'm just going to speed up the video so you can see what it looks like at the very end. But that is how we apply our glaze, and that's what it looks like before it goes in the kiln and then after it comes out as glazeware. And then you have a piece to keep forever and ever. Have fun!